Hello and welcome everyone back inside the Talking Elite Fitness Studio. Tommy Marquez here with part number 2 of our age group quarterfinal analysis around the programming for day number 2 specifically. And before we dive into it, a quick look and a reminder of all the submission windows for your scores. Remember, day 2 is due on the 2nd of April at noon Pacific time. Be sure to check those time zones for everyone outside of the United States. And of course, 30 athletes in each division will move on to semifinals. Looking at the day 2 tests right now, test number 3, the first time, this one's a doozy. 50 shuttle runs, 7 rope climbs, 25 bench press, 185, 125 on the bar, 7 rope climbs, and then 50 shuttle runs. Annie, let's just say, I know you're not the biggest fan of running, but mapping out the energy for this one in particular, given the coming off of the shorter tests and the scope of the weekend, what jumps out to you if you're not maybe the most accomplished runner?
Yeah, I mean, this one is a grind. It's a 30-minute time cap, and you're going to need it because those 50 shuttle runs, that's, I calculated, it's 762 meters. So you're basically running 800 meters, but with all of those turnarounds, which is just absolutely brutal. I think the biggest thing for most people there, you just got to keep moving. You don't have to run super fast, but you have to keep moving. And ideally, you're somebody that knows how to anticipate that turnaround. So instead of getting to the line, then turning your body and starting your momentum in the opposite direction, you need to be kind of anticipating the turnaround before you get there so that you're already moving forward once you hit that turnaround. 7 rope climbs, I mean, that is just what it is. But then again, that there's a grind in the middle, which is the 25 bench press at, for me, what is a moderately heavy weight. That's body weight for me. We saw this weight in the age group semifinals last year, although it was 60 reps of it. But that's going to be a little bit of a grind. And so you're going to have to know where your threshold is on that bench press so that you don't start one-offing the bench press and failing reps there. And then it becomes a grind at the end, right? You just got to get those 50 shuttle runs done again. And ideally, although you can't stop moving, you can't be too slow because it's going to eat up just too much time. Again, it's almost 800 meters. It's almost a mile of running total. So it can't be a complete slog.
Jason, I'm sure most people aren't used to running a mile in 25 to 50 foot sections. And with that grind, kind of mentioning what Annie said, it's easy to lose time and give up time at different various places. So for you, as you're approaching this, how are you making sure you stay on pace? You don't give up unnecessary time just for mental lapses. And then you get through a mile going back and forth, what might seem like forever.
It will be forever. It's 200 turns. If we think about that, we've got 100 turns per 50. And I know that for me, it's all about trying to get my footing right. And I know that I'll have 50 attempts at getting my feet just across, just right. I don't have a great rhythm on shuttle sprints. And these aren't sprints by any means. These would be shuttle runs. But one of the things I'll do is I'll make sure that I settle into a turn to the right and then a turn to the left. I tend to just face the same direction when I turn or turn towards the same wall so I don't get dizzy and just staying in the game there. I think the beginning shuttle runs, it's a race to get to the rope. And then once you're done with that middle section, it's a race to get done with this workout. I'm actually considering doing this workout today so that I can get it out of the way. I've just got a whole scheme. We'll talk about that later on the order of things. But I do think this is one of those workouts where we have to pay attention to our capacity. We never want to find ourselves reaching full capacity. There's Rory. There's a guy.
Oh my gosh. Look at that handsome man.
Yep. It's such a handsome guy. But I think we've got to watch our capacity on rope climbs, never getting yourself to a sticky spot. Same thing on bench press. We don't have time to recover from those. So breaking those up appropriately, pacing them appropriately to stay as fast as possible without getting sticky. And I don't know what to say about the runs. I'm not a huge fan of this many shuttle runs, but I'll do it. If they ask me to, I'll do it.
Some of that comes down to just mentally staying in it. It's really easy on something like that to kind of check out and then lose any sort of good speed or momentum. And so you really do have to mentally stay in it for what's probably going to be upwards of 4 minutes of running back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
a little bit mind numbing, just even just looking at that number on the screen. But regardless of when you get this done, it's due on day number 2. And then the final workout that you're going to have to, well, in theory, finish is a repeat of 15.5. If you listen to our preview show earlier in the week when we talked about floor plans, that was my guess. And I guess every once in a blue moon, I get one right. 27, 21, 15, 9 row for calories and thrusters, 95, 65 on the barbell. The time cap is 15 minutes. A lot of people newer in the community may not remember this test, but it was how we closed out the 2015 Open. Annie, I'm going to give you a little nugget here. You finished way back when, 7:56. A, is there any chance of you beating that time? And B, what is your approach to it as someone that maybe likes the thrusters more than you like the rowing?
Yeah, I don't know that I could finish. I think around 2015 was some of my peak fitness for sure. So I don't know that I could beat that. Maybe come close. I feel like my rowing might be a little bit better now than it was back then, whereas my thrusters probably aren't quite as good as they were back then. But I think, ideally for somebody like me, it's keeping those thrusters in no more than 2 sets if possible, because that's my strong spot. So that's where I have to make up time. And the rower, just knowing what my threshold is. So, on something like 27 calories, I have to very consciously, I can't row maybe over 1,000, but I have to not let myself row under like mid 8s, because again, I'll lose too much time, and I can hold 8s, mid 8s, and be okay. So it's just kind of knowing what the threshold is on something like 27 calories for you, so that you can get off the rower. You haven't wasted too much time, but you can actually go right over and pick up that barbell and get at least a good 9 to 15 thrusters under your belt.
And Jason, back in 2015, we were talking about this a little bit before we hopped on. 9:05, that was your time. I have a feeling you're going to beat that. Maybe just eke that
I
out by a few minutes or something. But what's the approach
cup.
here? And what did you learn from last time? Sorry to
Yeah.
cut you off.
What I learned from last time is, well, that was my second CrossFit Open. I was about 14 months into CrossFit at this point, and it was the most painful thing I'd ever done to that point in my life. I've never done anything quite that painful. So lessons from that time is that it's not going to feel different now. It's going to feel just like that. This is a I know there's a workout called acid bath. That's what this is. It's pure pain in the lungs. It's pain in the quads. It's pain in your shoulders. There's workouts that give you a chance to find some recovery in a movement. So like when in workout 1, when I'm doing toes to bar, I'm actually recovering a little bit there. Even though my grip is getting taxed, there's some recovery to that. This is one of those workouts where there's absolutely no room to hide. Nothing is ever calming down. It's pain from maybe the first minute till whenever we finish the 6, 7, 8 minute mark. So I'm not looking forward to it. I knew this was what was coming. I predicted this. I didn't know. I was hoping it would be anything but this workout. Anything would have been better, but it is delivered to us. And yeah, I will approach it with an intent of staying deep, deep in that pain cave, just short of threshold. And then when it comes to 9 and 9, send it and call it done. This will be the last workout to be completed, no doubt.
Yeah, you definitely don't. I don't think you want to retest one. And even just hearing you talk about it brought back some memories of me crawling towards
Yeah.
the door of the gym, losing articles of clothing along the way just to get free of all the pain. We're going to have some closing thoughts before we get going. I'll start with you, Jason. You mentioned plan of attack for the weekend. How are you planning to attempt and do these, and what are the dictating factors of that?
Yeah. So in my perfect world, I always like to finish the first 2 tests before I sleep tonight. In a perfect world, I'd have event 2 and 1 done today, and then tomorrow attack event 3 and 4. The challenge is that event 3 and 4 are both pretty taxing workouts, and I just don't see myself doing them both in one day. So once they got released, I reshuffled the deck, and I'm thinking this afternoon, I'm going to hit workout number 2, get the AMRAP and then the max lift out of the way. And then move on to the shuttle run workout a little bit later, early evening, and get that again. It's really a big pain cave type workout, so get that one out of the way. In the morning, I'll be required to hit workout number 1 in order to submit workouts 1 and 2 by the deadline. Workout 1 is my favorite workout, so I'll actually wake up looking forward to that one. Recover, refuel. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm planning to hit the thruster workout number 4, and hopefully by tomorrow night be satisfied and feel like I've completed everything without having to retest. I can wake up Sunday morning and relax, maybe even go have a donut here in town or something fun, just to celebrate the fact that I'm done for the weekend, hopefully.
Have an extra one for me if that's the case, because I've had those donuts and they are phenomenal. They got some good stuff working over in Cookeville. Annie, from an affiliate
really
perspective, you own and run an affiliate, and you're running multiple athletes through here. Are there some things that you're keeping in mind as you start to map out the weekend for them?
Yeah, I mean, it's making sure that everybody, I love what Jason just said, so he's mapped it out, what's going to suit him best, his strengths, his weaknesses. I love the idea of the fact that he's looking forward to workout 1. So he'll wake up tomorrow morning looking forward to doing that workout. I think psychologically that's huge. So, I think it comes down to sitting down with each of the people that we're going to, each of our members that's going to attack the quarterfinals, and making sure that they have their own schedule that suits them and their needs and their strengths and their weaknesses. And then making sure that their recovery is good in between all of these, because it's really easy to just think about the tests and not think about how you're going to recover in between: nutrition, resting, whether it's hopping on a bike and kind of getting those legs moving after one of them, whatever it is, sleeping good tonight, making sure that you're fueling in between tonight, tomorrow morning, all of that stuff. So it's just because somebody's going to do it 2, 3, 1, 4 doesn't mean that everybody in our gym has to do it like that. And so we just have to sit down with each of them and make sure that they have their own schedule that suits them best.
Awesome stuff, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time. Annie, Jason, thank you so much. Best of luck on the tests as you guys tackle them and take other people through them. And I hope you have a great weekend along the way.
Thanks, Tommy. Good luck, Jason.
Thank you. Thanks, Annie.
We're going to have more studio coverage for you guys all weekend long. If you haven't already, go check out our live studio shows recapping day 1 and day number 2 of the team competition. And then we will be back next week to recap all of the quarterfinal action that has taken place across these past 4 days. For Andy Sakamoto and Jason Grubb, I'm Tommy Marquez. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on IG, and we will talk to you guys next time.